Your Excellency, my duty this morning is to give a brief account of where we are coming from for us to be here. But before I do so, Your Excellency, allow me to convey on behalf of my colleagues from the African, Caribbean, and Pacific Parliamentary Union our deepest gratitude to you, Your Excellency, for the discipline, determination, resolve, and boldness that you have shown on the African continent, which has empowered us as your parliamentarians so as to defend and preserve the culture, the family, the values in the African context. It was in 2021 when the Africa Bar Association raises an alarm on the then Post Cotonou agreement and its emerging emphasis on new forms of human rights. As we all know, human rights is the purview of the Human Rights Council under the United Nations. And so the provisions of excessive human rights were introduced in the draft text of the Post Cotonou agreement. Indeed, the African Bar Association was able to pick it up. And in 2022, the African Bar Association made it a point to discuss the Post Cotonou agreement as a key component during their annual conference in that year. And further to that, during the conference, a high level that had visited Malawi made a point to have an audience with your counterpart, Your Excellency, His Excellency Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera, in his capacity then as head of the African Union, to present some of these offending issues that were appearing in the draft text of the Post Cotonou agreement. The battle against the offending text. So it was again in 2022 during a family conference in Arizona in the United States that a couple of your parliamentarians from the African continent sat together and said, we can't continue just watching and complaining. We need to bring this issue to the African continent, bring together all parliamentarians who stand for values to start delving deeper into the offending text that is available in the Post Cotonou agreement. And so we agreed that indeed the Uganda and Mzee would be the good port to call to request him to host us. And we are so grateful, graciously you accepted. And we owe so much unto you and to the First Lady, and of course, my colleague Honorable Sala Opendi, and of course, the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly of Uganda, that you provided the necessary requirement, conducive environment that is now becoming the annual undertaking on the African continent. So the first conference took place in 2023. And we did tackle on the emerging issues which led to the drafting of the Entebbe Declaration. In 2024, Your Excellency, it became clear that the family, sovereignty, and values require an entire African-wide law. And this is what has brought us here today, that we should review the charter that is now in draft form, which, Your Excellency, your parliamentarians have worked so hard together with the experts to make sure we have got a living document that can start becoming enforceable once it has been approved and ratified by you, our excellencies. As a continent, We should start writing our story, telling our story, defending our story. Our story is in the culture, is in the family, is in the religion, and it's in the values and sovereignty that we so strongly believe in, Your Excellency. My appeal now, let's write the African story. I thank you, Your Excellency.